Welcome to our our next communications program called Remind. Remind. Yeah, you think of the do not forget, post-it notes all over the place, setting times on your cell phones to alert you about things so you don't forget about them, tying the ribbon on or a string on your finger. I don't know many people that do that anymore. No, that was before my time as well. However, this Remind program can do some of that, but it's more of a communications program. It can help you remind, and we'll go over that as we go through it, but it's a great way where you can reach out a lot of people with minimal time. And let's face it, time is precious these days, where we have so much to do and so little time to do it in. And hopefully, maybe we can learn from this class where we can find the 8th day in the week, and we can get more done. But till that happens, let's dive into Remind. What is Remind? Remind is a teacher-based program that's free. Getting that four-letter word. Free, where teachers can reach out to students. And it initially started where it was a one-way communications where they could remind students, hey, there's a test tomorrow. Hey, don't forget your book report. And it protected both the student and the teacher from improprieties and so forth. With the one way, plus there was records of everything that was sent out. So it was a great program that way, and sadly sometimes we can use that one-way communication better in our church than two-way communication. I know I have found where we have some negative Nancys or negative Nicks, there we go, in church, balancing both male and females there, that every time you send out an email, you got to reply to all, and it was something negative. So if you just want to send an announcement out, say, hey, don't forget about Bible study tomorrow. Hey, don't forget about our hoagie sale. And you just want to get a blurb out real quick, real easy, here's how to do it. A quick prayer request. Many other options that you can use this for. But that's where the origins of this program came from. You're basically building classes. Just like a teacher would build a class for English class, math class, and so forth. You're going to build classes, and you're just going to have groups of people that you want put into separate groups. You could have a Bible study group, a church membership group, a community group where they could tie in and be part of this group, and every time you send a message out, it goes to everybody that's signed up in that group in the community. And you can just go from there. It's a way to send texts out to a group. So you could have 50 people that you want to send a text out to. It would, once they're in this program, it's very similar to a contact list in your emails. They're in the group, they sign up for this group, and hey, you send it out and it goes to everybody. How many ever people all at one time? Very convenient, makes it easy to send out group texts. Actually, it's a lot easier than text now if you're doing large number of groups. Both of them have their pluses and minuses, but for group texting, this is probably the best way. You can also send emails out this way. And the best part about it is, you can send them both out at the same time. So you have somebody sign up and they have text. Great! Sign up, you can actually sign them up right on the spot, right in front of you. It takes less than 5 minutes. Actually, it takes probably less than 2 minutes, depending how fast they are typing their name in. And sending a text. But they can also sign up if they don't have text to get email alerts. So you send out a message, hey, don't forget about our hoagie sale this Saturday. You send it out, it goes to all the text people instantly and the email people instantly. Whenever the email people get it, they'll read it, but the text people get it as well. So you get both levels of technology, which is really cool because it's one message. You send it out, it goes to both sets of groups. The other cool thing, and this is kind of where the reminding part comes in, social media, communications like these programs we've been going over, all of them take time. We need to try to be as efficient as we can. These messages can be sent on a schedule. In fact, I'm going to be doing it shortly with mine. I'm a little behind this month. But we get a monthly calendar at church. All the events that are going to happen. You can sit down, depending on how many, events you have. You can sit down in a half an hour, 45 minutes, an hour, 15 minutes. Sit down and script out and schedule every single event for that month that's on your calendar. Because all you do is type in the message, schedule it, say when you want it to be sent out to people. The other neat thing about this is, I don't know about you folks, but I might remember, I don't know, 10 o'clock at night. Ooh! Or I'll even get a request at 10 o'clock at night. Hey, can you send out a prayer request, or can you do this? Okay, I'm going to do it. Wait, you know what? Some of these people are getting it via text. I don't want to wake them up 10 o'clock at night, 11, 1, 2, 3 in the morning when I get this message. I can schedule it for the next day at 9 in the morning. So whenever you want to schedule it, the day of the week, the day of the year, months in advance, whatever exact time you want to go out, you can do that with this, which is really neat. Okay, so if you go to remind.com, here's the screen you'll see initially. You can go to sign up. Now, when you're signing up as a teacher. You're going to be the administrator or the person that manages this. Everyone else, when they sign up and they go up through this, they'll be a student. So you'll have the student and you'll have the teacher, which is you. They have parent on there as well, but that's, again, when you're dealing with a classroom, if you have juveniles, and you want to make sure the parents, again, this being a teacher program, the parents get the notices too. Hey, don't forget about the book report, so the parent can get on the kid about getting it, even though the kid's getting the same message. So that's where you see the parent in there. Probably not going to be anything you might use, but there could be a use for it that you might come up with. So just so you know that. So you go in, you fill out an account just like we've been doing all along. You set the account up, and then you get to this screen. This is basically your managing screen. In this case, I use it for when I teach water rescue classes. So I have two groups. I have a water rescue class and a water rescue class 1. I'll be honest, I forget why I broke it up into two different ones. But you name your class. Once you name your class, they'll give you the option of some of the verbiage that you can make for your class code. If you look under water rescue, you see water RES and the @ sign before it. That is my class code. So anytime I want somebody to sign up, I give them that class code to sign up with. Or when I can also, and we'll talk about it, where we can invite people so they won't have to actually go through a lot of that. So that's the class code, the title. You'll see in the center there, to. I'm sending it to the water rescue class. I could send it to both classes, the water rescue class and water rescue class 1. I just have to click in the to box and select that other class as well. You'll see the number of participants in that class. If you click on add students or you click on participants, you'll be able to see the exact students in there. But it's nice because all you're going to see is their name. And this is where that protection comes in, and when the system was built for teachers, that's how it was built. So you can see the names, but you don't have that personal communication, phone numbers and stuff. So you type in your announcement. Now you'll see that number 140. Very similar to Twitter, where you have 140 characters. That's the length that you can use. It is a shorter amount, but you can still get good information, or you could refer them, put in here a website, or put in here a Facebook address or something, where if the message you need is longer than 140 characters, you can send them somewhere else with this message. The other option you have, if you're long-winded, you'll learn to abbreviate, but if you are longer in the message, you could try abbreviating, taking out spaces, shortening words, or you also have the attachment there. You can add one attached file to this. It will take away from some of those 140 characters, but when it's texted out or emailed out, the user will get the option to bring up whatever file that is, whether it's a picture, whether it's a flyer with information on it. You can add one attachment to it, which is nice. So again, it's going out to text, it's going out to emails, all at the same time. If you look over on the right there, ways to join the class, you can send an invitation from this class right here to anybody you want. You can send it to them via text or email. If you click on the in-class instructions, it'll show you a picture of how to text it to somebody, or how they can text and join the class. You can invite people with the thing right below that, phone or email invites. You can give them a website link to go to, or you can actually print out and hand out in church sheets, and it'll show you not only how to hook up if you're a text person, or hook up if you're an email person. And it's very simple. It's as easy as sending, and it's a generic initial number that you send a text to 81010, and that's who you're sending it to. So instead of putting in John Doe, you're going to send a text to, you put in 81010, and then in the message spot you put the class code, which is the @ in this case we have the Water RES. It'll be your own individual class code there they'll put in. After they hit send, it'll say, hey, you're welcome in, or you joined so-and-so's class. Type your name so we know who you are. They type in their name, they hit send, they're in. They're signed up for the class, so anytime you send something out, they will get a copy of it. And again, that's via text. Email, same concept. You send the class code minus the @ sign at remind.com. And again, the instructions will be in there. You send a blank text or blank email to that email address, whatever the class code is, at remind.com, and then you'll be signed up for it. So again, very easy to sign up for it, and once you're signed up, you're done. Very easy. A couple other things, we were talking about how we need to have different levels of technology so no one's left out. Even those people that have no technology at all, they're strictly the written word. Not a problem. If you go down to the bottom where it says more, you'll have this screen pop up. You'll have the profile, notifications, settings, and widgets, all different things that you can customize for you. The widgets, I will tell you real quick, and depending on, actually you probably won't be able to use it in the one free website when we make that next week, but the widget you can click on and you'll be able to use that HTML code, which is the code for websites, embed that in your website, and anytime you send a message out, it'll also pop up on your website as well. So that's just another little perk that they give you, or another bell and whistle they give you for this program. The thing we're going to talk about here is the print button. And when we hit print, we think, oh great, our printer's going to start printing out stuff. No, that actually isn't the case. We hit the print button, and then we go to this screen. This screen allows us to print out any messages that we have sent out. So what I do in my church is we'll send out messages throughout the week. Sunday morning, I'll go to the computer. I'll come into this exact point. It says all classes. Well, I'll click on the down arrow because we have a lot of classes or breakdowns in our communications with Remind. I'll go to our church because we have a sister church. I'll click on our church. I'll go over to the start date. I'll put the start date as last Sunday. I'll put the end date as today. I'll hit export. It'll export, export. I can speak. It'll export that into a page file that will say the date I sent the message out, how many recipients, what class it was I sent it out to, and what the actual message was. So everything that we sent out for that entire week is now on a printed sheet that I can hand out in church. Those that have no technology whatsoever can read this and still be in the loop and know what's going on in the church, and they don't feel as left out. Is it instant? No. But if they're not on text, they're not on email, they're not as used to the instant gratification of getting that communication. Don't forget to pick up the phone if it's something important, because they won't get it for a week. So if it's something important you need to, don't forget the old telephone. Pick that up and give them a call. That's something else that I'd like to throw in here too that kind of wraps up into the whole communications thing. We have to be aware of how soon we need this person to get the message. Some people have their email on their phone, they have their text on their phone, so every 2 seconds they're looking at their phone. Obviously this isn't always good, but not everybody has that. So if you send this out and you know the person only receives email and they check it maybe once every day, once every other day, once a week, and you need that message to get to them quicker, you need to use another form of communication. It might be old school, picking up the phone and calling, going over to their house. So try to remember that when you're sending that message out, how fast do they need to have this message? Is it something that can wait, or is it something we need an answer soon? Because unfortunately you'll run into things, well I sent you the message, I sent it to you in the email. Doesn't mean that everybody looks at it every second of the day. So we got to be aware of that when we send messages out, how soon they need to get them, and what form of communication is going to get them out in the speed we need necessary for them to receive it and maybe even reply back. So think about that during this whole communications course, what avenue you may need to use. So with that said, like I said, it'll email out to you a page, you print it out, and you can hand it out in church. Really, really cool added on benefit to this. And that way we keep everybody in the loop. Go back to the main screen. This is the other cool part. We can schedule messages. We can have a calendar in front of us and know in 6 months we're going to have a hoagie sale on July whatever. Great. We post it out a couple days before, maybe even the beginning of the month. We usually try to send out, we have movie night once a month. So in the beginning of the month and maybe the Monday of that week or the Friday of that week, we'll post messages and we'll schedule them ahead of time. Or, hey, don't forget about our movie night. This month's movie is whatever. But I do it once, I schedule it, and I forget it. It's almost like that infomercial. Set it and forget it. It's some type of toaster oven thing. This is what you're doing here. You can set up a month's worth of events in however long it takes you to type them in. Go to the calendar there where you click schedule under right to the right of attachment. This little box comes up. You have the date you want it to go out and the exact time you want it to go out. And this way you can be mindful and courteous of people, especially with text, where you don't send them too late or too early in the morning. You can send them out at specific times. Email, obviously, they would have to be logged in to get that, but all the messages go out at the same time, less likely to forget stuff. So again, it makes things a little bit more efficient on the communications and getting messages out to people. Alright, that is Remind. Like I said, very useful, very powerful tool. So what we need you to do today is create a Remind account. Then go to that discussion board and put your class code in so others can join your class. Everybody can see what your class is, the name of your class and everything. Comment on how you can use Remind in your church, different uses. I gave you a few in here, but remember, everybody is creative and come up with other ideas, and we can share them and maybe use them. So come up with some ideas how you could use it in your church. And then go ahead and join other students' classes by using your Gmail account that we'd set up earlier this week. Use that, and that way you can get the Gmail. I would highly suggest using right now email to sign up for the classes, just because we might be in different time zones and we're not always cognizant of other time zones when we're used to our own. Also, if you want to invite other students to join your class via the emails again that are in day 2, where we were posted our email addresses for our Gmails. If you want to, and again, I know it's fun to play with this stuff, if you want to, go ahead and play, but tomorrow we are going to use in our assignment to have a fun day Friday, as I said. We are going to use Remind and Text Now, and we're going to send messages to each other. We're going to send messages to our friends. We're going to use both of these to send out messages. Try scheduling some messages, especially with Remind. We want you to get to play and use these programs so you feel comfortable with them. Find out issues you may have. We can try to clear them up. But get used to using them and see how you might be able to use them in your church. The best way to learn these is to use them. So that's why we're going to dedicate a full day to playing with and using Remind and Text Now, and how we can use them in our churches and in our lives to get that communications out. Since we'll be doing that, again, enjoy that. You still go to the assignment board and discussion board and post comments of your experiences for tomorrow, but that'll be a whole different assignment. We'll have that listed tomorrow. Alright, enjoy and have fun.